whenever I like listen back to it, I'm like, God,
You're
I need to shut the fuck up.
You're a good active listener. I appreciate it.
Yeah. But I don't need to be saying it, because then someone's just listening to me going like, yeah.
You're like a hype man. You're like a rap hype man,
right?
But for the podcast. I
feel like Jay-Z ad-libbing everything.
All right, you ready to go?
Fuck yeah, let's get it, baby.
What is up, everybody? And welcome back to the Bat in the Hat podcast, where we dive deep into all things nerd. My name, of course, is Steve, and with me, as always, is Trey. What is up, Trey?
What is up, beautiful people? It's a beautiful Wednesday today.
Today, yes, at the time of filming. It's been actually a great Wednesday for me. I've had a good day. I feel good.
Got some new internet.
I got some new internet, some, what do they call it? Business class internet?
LimeWire. I don't know.
Man, the days of LimeWire. We got new internet, and it's the one made for businesses, and it's really fast, and I'm enjoying it so far. Hopefully, when I play my PlayStation later, it'll hold up. So we'll see. How has your Wednesday been?
It's pretty awesome. Like, the cool thing about today is shout out my little sister Peyton. She just signed to her college today.
Congrats, Peyton.
What was it called? It was called Georgia Southwestern State University.
Again,
she's going there for a softball scholarship, and
that's
fuck
awesome.
Yeah.
That's super cool. Again, I think that my fiance's younger sister goes there. I'm pretty sure.
Heck yeah. Peyton beat her up. No, just playing.
Yo, fight her. Throw it in hands. No,
go.
Don't. She's actually really sweet.
Nah, Peyton ain't up about it. Or she might be.
Well, them softball girls, man, they're tough.
Right.
You know? It's been a good week. Everybody watching, thank you once again for joining us. Make sure, if you get the chance, like, subscribe, do all the things. Make sure you're commenting as much as possible. We have been really trying to up our engagement on these shows so that we have more people interacting with us, because, yes, a lot, like, you could be listening from Spotify or Apple Podcasts, which is where most of our listens come from. But if you're watching on YouTube, hey, you got a comment section.
Yeah.
What we would love for you guys to do, if you get the chance on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, is just to give us a rating, like a 5-star if you liked it. But be honest, I'm not going to tell you 5-star. If you think we're just 4-star good, give us an old 4-star. I'd prefer a 5, personally. But yeah, if you're on YouTube, do me a favor.
We'll give you a shout out.
Comment, subscribe, do all the things if you want to.
Do we have an email?
Do we have an email? Yeah, we do. It's bathatpod@gmail.com.
Heck yeah.
You can also find us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, all at bathatpod. And you can find us on Facebook at the Bat in the Hat Podcast on Facebook. Feel free. Again, these are all places that we interact. Me and Trey would love to talk to you guys. So if you're watching, if you're new here, welcome. If you're listening for the first time, welcome. Consider following us so that you can hear more of our nerdy opinions. While they're not good opinions, they are opinions nonetheless. And boy, do we, or girl, or they, them, or I guess
it's just the whole podcast of different pronouns.
I was about to say, if I just spent an hour saying Zimzer. Right. I saw that one on TikTok I didn't know that was an actual thing.
There's so many.
I just heard it the other day. That's amazing. Again, I really don't have an opinion on all that one way or another. As an alphabet person myself, I've always been whatever makes you happy. Yeah. But sometimes, as a almost 30-year-old man, I'll see something on TikTok and I'll be like, all right, God, this is getting fucking ridiculous. But again, whatever makes you happy, I'm not here to judge. We have a lot to talk about today.
We do.
And you know what's great? It's not so much that we can't spend a little bit of time on the topics we're really excited about.
Right.
So if you're cool with it, if the people at home are cool with it, if the people listening are cool with it, even though they don't have a fucking choice, let's go ahead and just jump on into it.
All right, we can talk about that guy right behind you. Got some Spooderman action.
You know what? I forgot that the Amazing Fantasy 15 posters right here. That's a really cool poster. So Spider-Man just had last night, Tuesday night at 8:30 p.m. They dropped the second and probably final trailer for Spider-Man No Way Home. That's what it's called, right? The third one. Because they all were home movies, I keep getting the Far From Home, No Way Home mixed up. Spider-Man No Way Home had a new trailer drop. We were very excited, and boy, let me tell you, I watched it at least 10 times last night. I mean, even me and my fiance were sitting in the bed, and she was like, wait, rewind it, and then pause right here. Like, we were both trying to, like, see little and I gotta tell you, it was a turn on for me, because she never gets, like, really into stuff, but she loves Spider-Man.
Okay.
You know what I mean? She loves Spider-Man.
That's
she
the one
loves
she geeks on?
Yeah, she loves Tom Holland Spider-Man.
So that's her Spider-Man? It's Tom Holland?
Well, the thing honestly that I really like about her loving Spider-Man, she loves all the iterations so far. She thinks that all of them were really cool, just like me.
Even Garfield?
I'm a big fan. Oh, I love Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, but what about
Spider-Man. Yeah, I don't think she's seen them, I think she only saw one of them.
Okay.
So we're going to, this week, just out of excitement of the new trailer, we're going to watch all the original Tobys, and then we're going to watch the Andrew Garfields. We just watched, 2 weeks ago, we watched all of the first two Tom Holland Spider-Mans. So I'm so excited. A couple things I want to talk about for the trailer. I wish I had actually written notes. I didn't, because I was so excited that
who cares?
I was like,
we can ad lib on it.
A couple things that I really want to talk about. Obviously, we got full looks at all 5 of the Sinister 6 members,
right?
Which again leads me to believe that, since we know this is revolving around the Sinister Six, and the Sinister Six is such an iconic, like, plot point for Spider-Man, I keep wondering if there's a secret 6th person, or is it just like Vulture from the first one?
I saw a screenshot where, like, someone circled it and it was really blurry, but it looked like a wingspan. That might have been Vulture,
right?
But there's also another screenshot that I sent you that was in the trailer of, you got the William Dafoe Green Goblin, and then the other screenshot I sent you was like the open-faced one.
Yeah, so we'll talk about that in a minute. I want to get to it because I'm really interested in sharing theories about it.
Right.
And I've done so much Googling in the past 24 hours.
Okay.
And so much, like, talking on in forums and in Facebook chats and stuff. So yes, we got to see Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. Very surprising to me. I actually had to delete a note because I put a theory about the Green Goblin the day before the trailer came out.
Okay.
And it was because they posted the new poster on Monday. You remember? The new poster came out on Monday. It was Spider-Man, like, all wrapped up by Doc Ock. And in the background, you could see, like, the Green Goblin, kind of.
Yeah.
And every time they had shown the Green Goblin in those 2 posters so far, it was blurry. So I put a theory saying, oh, he's going to look completely different. I may be right, but I'm also technically wrong, because we already have seen he's going to have the same appearance, at least at first, of the movies he was in with Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
The armor suit, same, and I love seeing the side-by-side comparisons. It honestly looks exactly the same. The CGI looks a little more refined. A lot of the shots in the original movie were more practical, so it was really him in a suit, not so much CGI. But the scenes in the new Spider-Man movie where it is CGI, he looks very good.
Right.
Right.
Are you saying they're going to kind of like Iron Man him? Where, like, Iron Man, they just had the face like Tony Stark when he lifts the hood type of deal?
Not necessarily.
Okay.
I think that somewhere later in this movie, because you got to remember, this is like a 3-hour long movie. This is going to be a long one. Somewhere later on in this movie, he's going to get either a suit change or a suit upgrade. What's really cool is we got to see, let's start with Doc Ock, since he is kind of the big one.
Right.
We got to see him fully in his glory, raising those octopus arms. They de-aged him with special effects, so he looks just like he did back in the original movie. He slams Spider-Man against the wall. Spider-Man kind of unmasks, which I assume he does because he's like, oh, the world already knows who I am. You know, if I'm going to talk to this guy, why not?
We definitely missed, like, the audio part for that on why he did it. There's probably, like, an audio of, like...
Well, so he gets slammed against the wall, he's upside down, and the mask comes off. I assumed it was just to, like, again, like, oh, everybody already knows who I am, so if I'm going to talk to him, why keep the mask on? So he takes the nano mask, it undoes itself, and Doc Ock says, "You're not Peter Parker." Yeah. And I was like, ooh, like, I was so excited. And we also get to see that something in his tentacles, right? Something in his mechanical arms
Okay.
absorbed the nanotechnology off of Peter's suit.
Yeah.
And he gets like this Iron Man upgrade to his arms.
Right.
Which is fucking cool. Because you start to see the red and gold accents go all over Doc Ock's mechanical shit. And I was like, wow. So I wonder if it's just the fact that his sentient arms are communicating with the nanites, right? Or what's happening, but they definitely were like, oh, these are mine now.
Right.
Right? Very cool. We later see him trapped in one of the cells in the Sanctum Sanctorum, so we know that he gets captured. He also doesn't seem like he's as much foe as we might think.
He goes from like foe to like kind of back towards mentor, because like in the video game he was like, and in the comics he is a mentor before he turns into Doc Ock. So
well,
kind of,
you got to remember in the original movie he was like Peter worked for him,
right?
And again, I separate the comics from these movies just because they are so vastly different. But since this character is from that original movie,
right?
Peter worked for him. He was a genuine scientist, and at the end, he ended up doing what was right. Right? He told the arms, like he was like, "No, you listen to me," you know. And he saved Peter. He saved Mary Jane. So I gotta wonder if he's back in control, or if they are back in control, or what. But maybe he's not full on villain. Either way, he's getting trapped in the little cell in the Sanctum Sanctorum.
Right.
And they make fun of his name. He's like, Dr. Otto Octavius. And they're like, no, really, what's your name? First of all, Dr. Otto Octavius, regardless of how much of a pun it is a fucking cool name in my opinion. Like, there's some strength behind Dr. Otto Octavius. Makes me think you're a Nazi. However, it's a strong name.
That might be a punchline in it.
Yeah, like
it's probably like, oh, it's super on the nose, bad guy like name.
Right.
Yeah, that might be a punchline.
Gosh, I'm sorry. I try not to this many times, like when we're doing the podcast, but there was just so much from this trailer I'm trying to absorb in my head. We got to see full-on looks at the Lizard, Electro, which we definitely are going to talk about in a minute, and Green Goblin and Sandman, right? So, five baddies. Shoddy, a little baddie.
Yeah. Did you like that TikTok I sent you?
Which one?
I sent it in text message. It was like, confirmed Green Goblin, take a look. And it was this guy, he moved his head and it was
I got pissed at
Green
that.
Goblin.
I hate you. Every time you
send me a little bag.
Every time you send me a TikTok, it makes me regret our friendship a little bit.
Shoddy got a fatty.
So we got to see that with Green Goblin, with Dr. Octavius. We also got to see, so let's talk about Green Goblin for a second so we can address what you were saying, right? Green Goblin, we see him as Willem Dafoe, like in the same armor, the same everything.
Cheeked up.
He looks great.
Caked up, cheeked up.
Later in the trailer, we see another person riding the Goblin Glider.
Right.
The Knob Goblin Glizzy Gobbler 3000.
About that glider, like, I didn't do that deep of a dive on the two glider comparisons.
It's the same glider.
Okay, because I saw that one whenever he was coming down where you can kind of see like a face. It looked like it was more U-shaped rather than just a straight.
It's the same glider from the original movie.
Okay.
They've already done. This is why I watch like Emergency Awesome and New Rockstars and stuff, because they do the side by side comparisons. Gotcha. And I don't have to put in all the work. Yeah, it is the same glider. I think that he just gets like a suit upgrade. Genuinely, I think that at some point in the movie he's going to get a new. Now here's the thing, I am a little afraid of this movie being so ambitious that characters as big and as amazing as Green Goblin are kind of like lost in the limelight, right? Willem Dafoe in any movie deserves a spotlight. This character, Norman Osborn, Green Goblin, deserves a spotlight.
Right.
If Sandman were to be a secondary character the way he was in Spider-Man 3, I wouldn't be super upset about it. If the Lizard turned out to be a secondary character, wouldn't be that upset about it. I would be interested in seeing more Jamie Foxx Electro, because he looked amazing in the trailer. And we'll talk about the changes there in a second.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be upset about it. But Doc Ock and Green Goblin, they need a little more of a spotlight. So I'm hoping we get some seriously devious shit from Willem Dafoe.
Do you think they would be like the tipping scales, like how you kind of saw Doc Ock kind of leaning towards like a sympathy, like I'm not the big bad guy? Do you think he's going to be the sympathy and the Green Goblin's going to be like the big bad? To where they're just going to like teter each other when they are making the Sinister Six?
It's interesting you say that. It really is interesting you say that, because I had this idea that I was like, oh, in that there's one scene which we're going to talk about because of the Brazilian cut,
right?
Where they're kind of I almost said Superman. Spider-Man is like jumping in towards all four of them, and it's Sandman, Electro, and Lizard. But I don't think I have to rewatch it again now, because I don't think Green Goblin or Doc Ock are in that frame, right? So
I just saw the three.
I think they're going to be two main antagonists, and they are going to be kind of counterbalanced. And I'm kind of hoping we get a Doc Ock versus Green Goblin like fight at some point.
That'd be interesting.
I'd be pretty hyped to see, especially with a little Iron Man upgrade.
Right,
bro, come on.
Out of the three Spider-Mans, because it's obviously been confirmed, even though they in this trailer they like cut him out of it, which that kind of does tie into the Brazilian cut where you did see. I was going to say,
do you want to talk about the Brazilian cut real quick?
Yeah, I mean, in the Brazilian cut, like that scene that Steve was just talking about, where you saw like all three of them about to fight.
Yeah,
it's a little bit longer, and the little like different discrepancy in it is you see the Lizard getting punched, like his head turns from like getting hit.
And nothing hits him.
And then after seeing that and then rewatching the like United States version, you can definitely see like, all right, they definitely cut him out of everything. Like even that segue where they're like swinging through like power lines whenever Spider-Man has like the black and gold suit.
Right.
Like the shot that he has, he's not like centered. He's like, if like this was centered, he was like up in the top right and he was small. Right. So obviously you're going to have like two other ones like swinging. Or you might have
you're
multiple.
Talking about just like frame spacing and everything.
Yeah.
If you look at where he is in some of these shots, it doesn't make a lot of sense. Absolutely. So I definitely think, because in a fight scene like that, the Spider-Men versus those three villains,
right?
It's all CGI.
Yeah.
Every single person on there is CGI. So it wouldn't really be much for them to just remove this one and remove this one.
Right.
And I definitely think that 100% I think that it's three Spider-Men from those movies, which gets me very excited. It doesn't take away the excitement of, like, I know they want so bad to surprise us with these things in theaters, and I know they work so hard at doing that. It's just not going to happen. So
yeah, I mean, it will, not to the extent that we want it, but it definitely will.
I just mean, like, as of right now, there's too many talking mouths and snapping pictures in Hollywood.
Like the way we want it to be like when Cap picked up the hammer type of like, oh, fuck.
Which honestly was a good surprising moment that people freaked the fuck out about. You know what I mean? I was very lucky to not have that spoiled for me in theaters.
You're lucky.
I blew my mind. You know
I mean,
what
it still blew my mind, but not to that extent.
Right.
But that's
super
awesome.
Cool. So Electro, by the way, let's talk about him.
Before that.
Oh, sure.
What is your thoughts on whenever it shows like Doctor Strange and Spider-Man fighting on top of like the train cars, and then the train cars kind of like three around them?
I don't think they're fighting. Not each other, I mean. I think that they're fighting together, like with each other. Or
are they fighting over that like block that Peter's trying to take?
Yeah, maybe.
But in there you don't see the block except for like whenever he gets
I don't know.
Like, you remember whenever the Hulk got punched out of like
Mark
Ruffalo got punched out of the Hulk? That happened to Spider-Man in this?
Right.
Is that probably like the same thing?
Is
that like the same thing, but like since the whole spell got fucked up, it's just like everything's going to chaos, so that's why the background is like completely different?
I don't know. Again, there's still theories that this may not be Doctor Strange. He's acting, and I'm not saying
Is he acting really strange? Cut the pod.
Go away. Yeah, seriously. I'm not saying that I'm going with the whole Mephisto theory that a lot of people are, but I do think he's very blasé in like the trailer and very kind of out of character. Maybe I haven't seen enough of him to really know his character in the MCU. He seems a little goofish, a little, I don't know, careless. And there's a lot of people thinking that it may not be Doctor Strange. It may be somebody else, but that would be cool.
Plus, you got to think it is kind of weird that Doctor Strange only met that kid like in the timeline, he met him one time whenever he was fighting Thanos in an alien planet.
Yeah, but like after that goes down,
What, they went out and got like sandwiches together?
right? Like you have some sort of like,
Yeah.
you know, we know each other now. We've saved the world together, kind of thing. I try not to think too hard on that, only because like it's at the end of the day, it's still like comics,
Yeah, it's a movie.
But we got acknowledgement from Doctor Strange that all of these people have died. That he's like, they die at the hands of a Spider-Man. That's their destiny, right? Which is so cool. The only thing I realized, I was like, I don't think Sandman didn't die. He just like drifted away in the wind. You remember?
Yeah.
He like told Peter, he's like, I'm sorry, and he's like, I forgive you, and then he just like drifted away in the wind. So he didn't die. So Sandman, you're good.
Yeah.
Your fate is not to die at the hands of Spider-Man.
I didn't take that as like he just like flew away, like, because that scene was pretty sad in that movie, even though that movie sucked ass. But it was kind of like a like fading into dust, like he's dead but not really.
Oh, so I didn't take it like that at all. Like especially since when the dust like started taking him apart, it was like spiraling away. I took it as him like literally flying away,
just to a bank that he robs.
Right? Yeah, like go live your life now.
It would have been funny if someone like edited a cut to where it just goes right into a plane propeller. He's just,
Well, so these are like the questions I have.
Okay.
Sandman at the end of Spider-Man 3 wasn't a bad guy.
Yeah.
Right? He was kind of reformed.
Right.
He apologized to Peter, you know. Doc Ock at the end of Spider-Man 2. He did the right thing. He kind of took control back over the arms. Electro, obviously, was a blue being of light, being of lightning. Now he looks like a regular man with a suit on. It's actually technology that's giving him his powers. Looks amazing, by the way. The fact that they were able to do the mask without it being a mask, it was part. Like lightning. I think it looks fantastic. He's got Tim's on. So people on the internet were like, "Oh, he's from like New York."
Yeah, he dead ass.
Yeah, he's dead ass, my guy. I think
Bing
he looks
bong.
great.
Sidewalk talk. Sorry.
I think he looks great. I really, really like the character design, but I want to know the answers to, 1, how did he change? 2, why are these 2 villains who ended up not being villains, why are they back being villains? Were they taken before their hearts changed? Were they, what place in the timeline were they taken from? So
they even showed like the scene, like how in the Garfield ones where he lost MJ, they showed that scene, but with
when he lost Gwen Stacy. So that was the thing, is that. And this is the part of the trailer I watched 110 times.
Okay.
Like, kept rewinding it.
Waiting for the snap.
So Peter our MCU Peter, at the end of this,
Tommy boy, yeah.
He's wearing a black and red and mostly black and red suit with a little bit of gold accents. It's called the integrated suit. It's not the same as the Doctor Strange suit. It's like the final suit of the movie.
Yeah.
But there's not
it's
a whole lot.
It's the same from the video game.
Was it in the video game?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, at the very end, like the spoil of the game, you fight Doc Ock on like a big tower, and he has electricity and shit.
Yeah.
So it's like an insulated.
Oh, that's a very different suit.
It's pretty cool. No, I mean it
was
literally
like green and black in the video game.
No, not the. I'm
Doc
talking
Ock
about
suit.
the. Why am I blanking on his name? Miles.
Oh, and Miles Morales?
Yeah, it's kind of similar. But anyways, continue.
Regardless, he gets a new suit, but it's mostly like red, black, and the gold accent. It looks very good.
Right.
You see Mary Jane. Well, her name isn't Mary Jane. It's like Michelle something. But MJ.
Yeah.
You see MJ like falling. Right? And it looks exactly like Gwen Stacy falling.
Right.
And you see our Peter, jump off and try to save her. But when you see their hands about to touch, and it's just that close up of their hands, the hand is blue and red. It's 100% Andrew Garfield's hand.
Mm-hmm.
His suit.
Okay.
So I think that scene is going to be Andrew Garfield getting his chance, like redemption, being able to save the girl before she hits the ground.
Ooh.
You know what I mean?
That kind of brings me up to this topic of whenever they were falling, you saw Ned, like our John, what's his name? Jonathan Boyega or whatever. Our Ned Leeds, the actor name.
John Boyega.
Not Boyega.
That was from Star Wars.
Babylon,
right,
his last name?
I don't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about.
But,
Ned Leeds.
Yeah, you see him falling over too, and he grabs like the flagpole, and then MJ's falling. So if MJ gets saved and Ned's the one who falls, do you think MJ would turn into probably like the bad guy of like the upcoming movie? Because Tom didn't save her. Instead of like, you know how in the comics it's Ned Leeds who turns into the Hobgoblin. Do you think they might like
I was just going to say, do you think that MJ's now going to be the Hobgoblin?
I mean, hey.
Fuck you. Hey. Absolutely not.
That's my...
that'd be funny, though.
That's my half-court, like, hook and dream.
The hook shot.
If that lands,
that's pretty funny.
It. That'd be pretty hype, though.
Hopefully Ned doesn't die.
Right. I like him.
If he does, that will confirm to me that he's going to come back as the Hobgoblin for some, like, in a future movie.
Granted, I did send you that Instagram clip of he had fangs, like, literally, like, right before the trailer dropped. He, like, put up a thing on his Instagram where he had fangs. Granted, he might be, like, doing something else. Like, he might be Into the Shadows or What We Do in the Dark and all that.
Right.
But he legit had fangs, and I guess Hobgoblin might have had fangs?
I don't know. It's so hard. Oh, Hobgoblin definitely has fangs.
Yeah.
It's so hard to, like, speculate on all these things.
Right.
And there's so many more things from the trailer that I can't even remember. I really wish I had made a better list and talked about it. I do want to talk about things that weren't in the trailer. We got no confirmation that Charlie Cox was in the trailer. However, we do have leaked images that a lot of sources are saying are real of both all three Spider-Men standing on that scaffolding together with their masks off, and Charlie Cox sitting at the dinner table with Tom Holland, Peter, Aunt May, and Happy.
Okay.
So there's a leak showing Charlie Cox. Charlie Cox
by Darkhawk #1
as
shout out Kyle.
What the fuck is Daredevil's name?
Matt Murdock.
Matt Murdock. Thank you. Gosh, sitting there with Aunt May, Happy, and again, a lot of people are just saying that it is to be like credible. It's like it's real. Not only that, but then the same week the trailer drops, they have all these leaked rumors that Marvel has started casting and has finished their talks with Charlie Cox to do a rebooted series for Disney Plus of Daredevil. So that has been.
Is that the only person they confirmed? Is just the actor who plays Matt Murdock?
The rumors are saying
Charlie Cox.
No, the rumors are saying
like, are they going to bring back
Vincent D'Onofrio is going to be Kingpin again.
Okay.
And then Karen and Foggy should be back. As far as, like, Stick is dead. As far... I don't know what is all canon right now, but...
The Stick's already dead. They got the hand. They have Elektra, technically, because I don't think she died.
Elektra's still alive, so I don't know if they're going to recast her or anything.
Bullseye died, I want to say.
No, Bullseye didn't die.
He didn't die?
Nope.
No.
In fact, he could come back for a really cool part.
Okay. What part?
If all that... No, I mean, like, as Bullseye, he could come back for, like, a really good arc, like a story.
Right.
If all that is canon. I don't know what's canon.
What about Bernthal's Punisher? They confirmed him at all?
Again, that's not confirmed, but everybody wants that. Nobody... He was literally such a perfect Punisher.
Right.
No, but anybody who says he wasn't a perfect Punisher doesn't know Punisher as a character. Doesn't give a fuck
protect
about
the
Punisher.
girl, Rick.
Or they only know the original... ASM 129, where he had the white boots and he was a great Punisher. Vincent D'Onofrio is supposedly going to make a cameo appearance in the upcoming Hawkeye show, the very soon upcoming Hawkeye show.
Isn't he supposed to be involved with the Echo thing that they have coming to Disney Plus too?
Right. So Vincent D'Onofrio's Kingpin is supposed to make an appearance during Hawkeye, and then Charlie Cox is supposed to make a cameo appearance in Echo.
Okay.
And that's just the rumors, people. We're just letting you know what we have heard. Don't shoot the messenger. But no, I'm very excited.
Well,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
If we're going are we going into Disney Plus news now? Or
about to in a minute.
Okay, cool. Keep going.
Do you want to do Disney Plus first? Because we have a lot of Disney Plus. Disney Plus Day was on the 12th. Right. November 12th of 2021. So we got a couple. I'm going to list some of the big things that we got announcements for, and then we'll talk about them like individually.
First one I'm definitely shouting out is X-Men 97.
Yes,
fuck
X-Men
your mother,
97.
fuck everything.
It is
That's the only one I care
of the
about.
90s X-Men show, and it's supposed to be like a continuation canonically. So what the fuck is that going to look like? Is Wolverine still going to be super Australian in that? You remember he was Australian?
Right.
But he's Canadian? I have no idea. I'm so excited.
The only like voice actor I know that got confirmed, but I don't know who he's playing, is the voice actor for Johnny Bravo.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. I know what he looks like. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Right.
I love that he was Johnny Bravo, but he's like this skinny, balding dude with glasses. And he's such a phenomenal voice actor too.
Monkey.
Man, I'm pretty. So Disney Plus Day, we got X-Men 97 got announced. Spider-Man Freshman Year, which is an animated show on Disney Plus that is canon to the Tom Holland Spider-Man. So this is going to be more of the origin. It's going to show him getting bitten, what being, early Spider-Man was like, what freshman year was really like, because we've only really seen like junior and senior year.
Right.
Or maybe sophomore and junior year. I think Homecoming was like sophomore year, and the Far From Home was junior year. Then this next one's going to be like senior year. So Spider-Man Freshman Year is going to be really cool. Secret Invasion, we got a little look of Nick Fury without the eye patch on, and just his like dead milky eye with the scratches across it.
Right.
He actually looked badass, had a big old beard. Marvel Zombies had its own show announced, which I'm very interested in, because it actually, as much as I was never a big fan of the Marvel Zombie comic books.
Right. Deceased was better.
Deceased was better.
Hands
Much
down.
as I was never a big fan of Marvel Zombie comic books, that was a very good episode of What If. So I would be interested in seeing more of that. And then we got like a really good sneak peek at She-Hulk. And we saw that Mark Ruffalo is going to be in it as both Mark Ruffalo and as the Hulk.
Right.
So it makes you wonder, is he still Professor Hulk? Is it just going to be flashbacks to when he was Professor Hulk and he was helping her? Where is all this happening?
Because, that all was during, like, that, what was it, like a 7-year or 4-year period whenever the snap happened?
5 years.
5 years?
The snap was
so
a 5-year.
Technically taking place, like, or at least those scenes would be taking place during that?
It could be. And because when it shows him as Professor Hulk, he doesn't have the sling on anymore. Yeah. But even at the end of Shang-Chi, he's back to Bruce Banner, but he has the sling on, so his arm is still messed up.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's a flashback, personally.
Right.
Some people are not so sure. Look, the only thing is, I don't mind the whole Professor Hulk thing, but I really want a good movie with, like, a savage Hulk.
Well, like Immortal Hulk or like World War or whatever Hulk?
Well, I was going to say World Breaker Hulk. So there's a rumor that they have finally come to an agreement with Universal, who owns the rights to the Hulk, for a World War Hulk movie.
That'd be cool.
And it would be fucking awesome. Now that would be a much more savage Hulk. I think we talked about this a little bit on the last show, didn't we?
No idea.
So the idea was in the comic books that right after Hulk, Planet Hulk, where he gets sent off into space by the Illuminati. He lands on the Gladiator planet. He has to fight and do all that crazy shit. After he breaks him and his friends out and they get to go live their life, he finds a woman that he falls in love with on a planet, gets married, and then World War Hulk happens. She gets murdered, and he's mad about it. So he finds a way back to Earth, and he is literally the angriest he's ever been. And as you know, with the Hulk, it literally is so triggered by emotion that the angrier he is, the stronger he becomes. His strength actually increases, not just, he turns into a Kyle and starts punching more.
I wonder if they ever did like an Adderall Hulk.
An Adderall Hulk?
Or like Percocet Hulk.
Jesus, where does your brain go? Where do you... Are you on perks right now? You on them perk
30, baby. You got the
30?
hooks. Don't do drugs, kids.
Don't do drugs, kids. The Bat and the Hat podcast does not endorse
condone
drug use. Yeah, condone.
Yeah.
But no, it looks really cool. So if we got to get like a Savage Hulk movie, that would be phenomenal. It was called World Breaker Hulk, by the way, because he was so strong that he had to like hold back from destroying the planet just by, his anger. There's a really great line, if you guys haven't read the original Cosmic Ghost Rider series, there's a really great line. He kidnaps baby Thanos in the past to save him and is like, no, I can make you good. You're not just a monster.
Like trying to make Hitler a good guy type
It's
of deal?
100%. The whole story is him like, what if you, instead of going to kill he was going to kill baby Thanos, but he's like, okay, what if instead of killing baby Hitler, I kidnap him and I raise him as my own. So he does that, and then he goes back to the future, and Thanos is the new Punisher. And again, this is like eons in the future. Thanos is big. He's Thanos. He has a Punisher shirt on, and everything is paradise, except he has this pit in the side of the planet that's like hell. And anyone bad goes into that pit, and then he spends his days hunting those people and like killing them. It's crazy. So anyways, Cosmic Ghost Rider, who is the original Punisher, it was Frank Castle who becomes Ghost Rider, then he becomes Cosmic Ghost Rider. They get into a spat, and he grabs Thanos by the face, and he's like, do you have any fucking idea how powerful I am? Do you have any idea how much I have to like hold back? Every time I take a step, I have to make myself not destroy the planet. That's how much power. And he like blasts Thanos, and then he's just holding a skull in his hand, and he drops it. And I'm like, holy fuck. And he's like, do you understand how fucking strong I am? It is
that's pretty metal. And then
dude, it is such a metal like couple pages. You guys have to go read. It's only a 6-issue. It's called Cosmic Ghost Rider by Donny Cates. It is a really, really good book.
Speaking of metal, we got a Moon Knight trailer too.
I was just about to say,
right.
Moon Knight. We got a Moon Knight. Now, we did get to see a whole lot. I still don't know how I feel about Oscar Isaac. I love Oscar Isaac.
Okay.
There's just seeing him in the trailer was weird for me. However, I think that makes sense, right? Because Mark Spector, his like main persona, is supposed to be unassuming. He's not supposed to be a super tough guy, right? It's when he's split personalities. It's when he goes into his Moon Knight persona. How did you feel about it? The looks that we did get.
It kind of gave me like the same vibes that my first initial reaction to like Black Adam trailer, where like, oh really? Shit, this is kind of badass. But then again, it was kind of weird, like hearing the different voices and like different tones of it kind of threw me off. But
one of them was like really Australian.
One of them was like really soft too. Yeah. But definitely like seeing like the jump where you actually get the moon. That was badass.
That was kind of Dark Knight Returns-y too. Yeah.
And then like whenever you get the where he like wakes up and there's just like 5 bodies around him that he like beat the shit out of.
I kind of got the cool Batman vibes when it just shows his back and he's just punching like the ground and you don't know like how bad he's through. Now he
looks pretty solid.
Well, the thing is that he fucking murders people.
Yeah.
So that is where I wonder, Disney Plus, how are you going to separate, or how hard are you going to go? Because they said, they're like, oh, we're going to keep R-rated stuff. We're going to make more adult content. How are they gonna separate those things? I mean, Deadpool they said they're going to keep that rated R, right?
Yeah.
Eventually, that's going to have to be put on Disney Plus, right? Because that's their streaming platform. Logan, like a lot of these movies are R-rated now. And I assume they don't want to just put it on the same thing that has fucking Cocomelon or whatever. like
Cocomelon.
Is Cocomelon on Disney Plus?
I don't think so.
I have no idea.
Nah.
No, it did look pretty cool. I'm pretty excited for that. And I'm interested in seeing it. I've never been a huge Moon Knight fan. I think that like most Moon Knight like stans are boomers, just because he only has been super popular back in the 70s when the original run came out, and then he's been completely underutilized since then.
Either that, or if you're like Sean McNally, connect every Moon Knight. Where's that Sean that collects them?
I don't think so.
Who's the guy that always like in the claim sales always asks for Moon Knight?
You know what? It might be Sean. I don't remember actually. Sean always asks for X-Men, and I think maybe Moon Knight. Eric Joseph also collects Moon Knight. So
gotcha. Shout out Sean. I literally missed you at the comic shop. We walked by. I literally was telling Steve, it was like whenever you walk by somebody, you're like, I think I know that guy.
Hey, Trey, what comic shop are you talking about, by the way?
What comic shop? We're talking about Cowabunga Comics at 406 Walnut Street, located in Green Cove Springs, Florida.
406 Walnut Street, Green Cove Springs, Florida. That's badass, dude. That is fucking badass,
dude.
Fucking, you say Cowabunga Comics,
Cowabunga,
that
dude.
is a fucking dope name.
I'm just going to keep it creamy with you, dude.
I'm just going to keep it creamy with you, dude. That's like one of my favorite TikToks
I love
now.
that guy.
I believe we have a Cowabunga Comics sticker on the old fridge.
Nice.
Yeah, I put a bunch more stickers on there, or decals. And
every Saturday we do some live streams. We sell some comics.
Guys, jump on to...
And especially this upcoming one, whatever the date will be this Saturday. I mean, this is coming out on Friday, so tomorrow
I don't even know what today's date is, to be honest. Today's
It's the 17th, so
18th, 19th, the 20th.
yeah, on the
November
20th, at 7 p.m. Kyle got in a good collection of Silver Age comics, and they're Marvel too. So
Oh, he did get some really cool books in. So we're gonna have a good claim sale this week.
it's gonna be nice.
All right, so we've talked a lot about the really big stuff. I'm excited about. We're at like the 40-minute mark. Let's run through some of the lesser stuff that we don't need to spend as much time on, because there is a lot more news, but it's still worth mentioning. You know what I mean? Big Mouth Season 5 released on the 9th of this month. We're about 5 or 6 episodes into it. It just gets fucking weirder and weirder.
I already murdered it all.
It's so good.
I love it.
And so funny, and I hate how much I laugh at it.
You know, one of the weirdest thing, whenever this show first came out, Riley put me onto it, and normally like her recommendations were always like, they're okay, or they're like complete garbage, to be honest. But she put me on that one. I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot, and then show of the lifetime. I love that show so much.
I actually didn't watch like the first 3 seasons when they came out, because everybody and their mother was like, "Oh my god, it's your sense, it's so your sense of humor, it's so like fucked up, and you're always saying fucked up things." And like, yeah, I know that I'm saying fucked up things, but like I'm not gonna watch it now because you're telling me, you know what I mean? It was like defiance.
It's like Squid Games for me.
Really?
Or that's how it was at the time.
Did you watch Squid Games yet?
No.
Okay, so but you know what I mean? Like everybody and their mother says you have to watch it, and then you're like, no, I'm not gonna do that. It's phenomenal though. But I do love Big Mouth.
Speaking of John Mulaney, not to go back into Disney news, John Mulaney and Andy Samberg, the guy from Lonely Island, right?
Yeah, Andy Samberg.
Yeah, they're doing a Chippendale Rescue Rangers thing that's coming out on Disney Plus.
Yep, Chippendale Rescue Rangers remake, and I forgot that's John Mulaney and Andy Samberg.
Yeah, that's gonna be pretty cool.
All right, so the Obi-Wan show is very highly anticipated now. I'm very excited for the Obi-Wan show, and not only are they bringing back Hayden Christensen to play Darth Vader, we are going to get a rematch lightsaber battle between newly Darth Vader, Hayden Christensen, and Obi-Wan.
Hell yeah.
And that excites me because that will be now the 3rd canonical battle between them, because obviously the original Star Wars, that's how Obi-Wan finally dies. And then we got the fight on the volcano in Star Wars Episode 3. Now we are going to have the 3rd battle. And I'm willing to bet with the advancement in technology and the advancement in fight choreography, it's going to look fucking insane.
I still think like my big like if I could hit like the nut button is if they do something with Darth Maul, which I know they're probably not going to. But I would love for that to happen. There's a lot of rumors that they're using Darth Maul in the Ahsoka show. Yeah. A lot of rumors for that, because just that Kenobi scream is just I love it.
Wait, who was that?
It's Ray Parker.
No, who was so that was Ray Parker, but who was the
voice actor?
There was it was the Emperor. There was somebody who was doing like an impression. Okay. And just the way he would say like Kenobi. Like, it always fucked me up. So I'm very excited for that. Predator prequel series. Hulu announced a Predator prequel series called Prey to be released in summer of 2022.
Predator and Prey. That's so stupid. I'm sorry.
It's silly. It is incredibly stupid. However,
I love it. I'm
excited. Of course. I even liked the last Predator movie. It had Thomas Jane, and it had Keegan-Michael Key, and it was fun. It was fun. It was stupid, and it made 0 sense, but I loved it. I'm all for anything Alien Predator. You can keep putting that shit out, and I'm gonna watch it. You know what I mean? Yeah. Red Notice. Now, we both saw Red Notice. It just came out on Tuesday,
I believe so.
No,
it's been in theaters, but
was it
for Netflix? It finally came out.
Red Notice was in theaters. I thought it was a Netflix exclusive.
They did a big release for theaters for it.
Oh wow!
It did decent.
Okay. Well, it came out on Netflix, and you gave it a 7 out of 10. I gave it a straight 8, maybe an 8.5, only because I enjoyed it so fucking much. Ryan Reynolds, The Rock, and Gal Gadot, they all worked so well together in this movie.
Like in all 3 phases of the movie? You said they worked solid?
Yeah, I think that they... All right, give me your butt.
The first half, like whenever you have The Rock chasing Ryan Reynolds, which... In my opinion, I would have gave Ryan some like ad-lib lines, especially like whenever he's like juking out different people and doing like the whole like destroying the scaffolding and people are getting hurt. Like that's where you want Ryan Reynolds to like throw in some zingers. But like just their whole interaction, you didn't really get into it until like he finally catches him.
Right.
which that kind of like threw me off because that's
Really?
probably like a good 25 minutes of the movie.
Oh, I really liked it. I liked
I liked it, but
yeah.
like you don't get to like where they're like buddy.
And
Like that's where you should start building like the rapport.
Right.
I mean, they did
I
once.
think they did kind of.
They did once he finally got caught, and then he
Right.
started like cracking jokes at him.
I think
But The Rock was just kind of flat in the beginning, and then he finally like turned it on for
Right.
me like in the second half of it, whenever like shit got serious, whenever they were finally breaking out of the prison.
So just for as many zingers as there was in this movie,
Yeah,
I also want to add the benefit of not overwhelming the movie with it.
I
You know
I
what I
can
mean?
understand that. Yeah,
Because at some point, it gets kind of annoying. And
But,
I
like-
think it had a pretty good balance.
it was. It's just personally, especially it being The Rock, he was playing it pretty modest, which that might have been just like a character trait because at the end, how you have like the switch,
Right.
that might be why he like, because he was acting as like not a part of it. But I would have liked it more if he was more like macho, like more emotion, like raw, I'm the strong guy type of deal, which
Right.
is a little on the nose. And then granted, I really wish he would have like made like a rock joke whenever he pulled the little rock out. Said, like a little rock, and he just like pointed at him, just like subtly. That'd have been funny. But no, it was a solid movie.
I very much enjoyed it. I thought it was very fun.
Yeah.
We're going to go non-spoilers really for this just because it's still pretty fresh
Yeah.
on Netflix. However, there are several twists and turns in the movie,
Right.
and I really didn't see some of them coming. So I was genuinely surprised. I think that there was a lot of just really fun scenes, a lot of really good chemistry on screen. I'm hoping there's a sequel.
Yeah, I mean,
hopeful
they
that
definitely
there's
at the end of it, it kind of leads to any openings.
Right. This is your favorite piece of news. Do you want to read
No.
this one?
Taylor Lautner, he was Shark Boy. He was
Shark
also
Boy. He was Wolf Boy in
Wolf Boy.
Twilight. What was his name?
Jacob.
Yeah.
Jacob. Yeah, Team Edward was the vampire.
Yeah.
I think he was Jacob. But Taylor Lautner, congratulations. He just got engaged to his girlfriend, Taylor Dome was her last name. So now that they're engaged and once they get married, we'll have two Taylor Lautners
There will
dating
be
each other.
Two Taylor Lautners in the
Yeah,
world.
Kind of neat.
What a world we live
Kind of
in.
weird. Would you ever like get married to somebody and like have the exact same name as them? Wouldn't that kind of trip you up a little bit?
It'd be weird if I...
I mean, granted, if like Lindy's name was Steve, that'd be kind of weird. But
yeah, but again, like if I did end up with a Steve, I don't know. It's weird. Being gay has different rules, so I don't know how I'd feel about it. It's like in the Halloween movie, Big John and Lil John. That was
Right.
kind of cute.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know.
Gotcha.
That's a thinker though. Now I have to think about that. Would it bug me? It more annoys me that she has to take my name. We've actually talked about me taking her last name just because Farmer sounds so much better than Rolberg. I hate the name Rolberg. I hate my last name.
Oh,
And
okay.
I was like, yeah, we're
Steve Farmer.
well, I was like, oh, we're progressive, you know, we're young people. Like, does anybody really fucking care about this kind of stuff anymore? But I don't know if I could put up with all the bullshit that comes with changing your name, to be honest. So probably just
You do like the hyphen of both?
No, we actually are now kind of on the
Just make
track.
make up a new one, Steve Lightning.
No, we actually did think of merging our names and both changing our names then to Farmberg. We're
Farmberg.
just gonna merge Farmer and Rolberg.
Farmberg.
And
Hoo-ha-ha.
like literally when we're scolding the dogs for doing something bad, we'll be like Millie. We always make up a middle name and we call her Maleficent when she's being bad. So we're like Maleficent Alexandria Farmberg. Like, you get over here right now, and it's always funny to me. I don't know why.
You're so white.
I know, I'm the whitest person ever. Anyways, Paramount dropped a live action Halo trailer.
Yeah.
So when does the series come out? You said 2022.
Yeah, it didn't have a date on it, but it dropped right whenever they just dropped the multiplayer for Halo Infinite,
Right.
which that game looks pretty fire. I don't have an Xbox.
It was a really cool little trailer. It was a
Yeah.
very short teaser. You got to look at the live action Master Chief. I had to watch it like 3 times before I realized it wasn't like just really good CGI or like really good game effects. It
The
was a
actor
real
is
person.
Pablo Schreiber. I think that's how you say his last name.
Schreiber.
He was in Den of Thieves, and
Pablo
he was also
Schreiber.
the if any of my Orange is the New Black fans,
It's 13 Hours. Which one was that? Was
the
that
Krasinski one.
Yeah, that about
Not Chris Kyle, but
no, not Chris Kyle, the John Krasinski one.
The Osama one? They kill Osama?
No, it wasn't that either. It was the one that Hillary was criticized for knowing about, where Americans were like tortured. I can't remember what it was called now. But
yes, any of my Orange is the New Black fans, he was the pervert like guy with the mustache, like the cop in there.
No way, really?
Yeah, this was before he got like yoked up for Den of Thieves.
Did he get like yoked or something? Yeah. Oh shit, that's funny.
He was funny in there, so that's kind of cool. I saw that on his like IMDb. I was like, oh no way.
So we got a trailer for something called The Freak Brothers.
Oh no, it dropped.
Like the actual show. It's out.
Yeah, it dropped on Tubi.
Here's the thing. It stars Woody Harrelson, John Goodman, Pete Davidson, Tiffany Haddish. It has a stacked lineup, right?
No one's gonna watch it because it's on Tubi.
It's on Tubi. I'm not gonna watch it on Tubi.
Like I don't even have the Peacock app right now.
And Tubi keeps like advertising itself like it's a free streaming app, and we're like, yeah, but that means we know there's gonna be ads at least, and nobody wants to deal with that.
You want to know what it really reminds me of?
What?
Crackle.
Fucking exactly. I was like, I've never used Crackle a day in my life.
It's like I've used it, but it's like the LimeWire of like, I feel like I'm about to get like computer aids for using this.
So it's based off of a 1971 comic book called The Fabulous Fury Freak Brothers.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it. I have like the number 7 book that came out back in the 70s.
Right.
I found it in like a dollar bin.
That's cool.
Had kind of spec on it, but it didn't turn out to be nothing.
It's pretty cool.
It looks pretty funny.
I like the animation style.
Yeah.
It really reminds me of like old biker kind of, newspaper comics and stuff. And I think it's cool.
It reminds me of like something you would see on like Adult Swim, or like even kind of like the what's it called? The Mordecai and Rigby show.
Right. Mordecai and Rigby.
That's the name of the show?
Oh, no, regular show.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always get Regular Show and Adventure Time. Like Adventure the name's fucked up.
Yeah.
But it seems like something that would kind of fit in like that like vibe of like, all right, that show's on, this show's on, this show's on. But it looks funny. Just it's on Tubi, so I'm probably never gonna watch it.
I just fuck Tubi. Like I don't have interest.
Honestly, if it like
Tubi.
dropped on like YouTube, I'll probably watch it on YouTube, which is weird to say.
I'm on YouTube like all the time, though.
Exactly.
So like, yeah. All right, this is a fun one that you added on this day.
Yep, on this day.
20 years ago.
On this day, well, we can do on this day 25 years ago, because just to knock it out and then go 20 years. 25 years ago, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson debuted as Rocky Maivia in Royal Rumble. Why the fuck can I not think of it? But that was his first debut.
Should have written it down, you fuck.
Not that in depth to it. I mean, but that's pretty crazy. It's literally 25 years ago 25
today.
25
years ago,
and
Dwayne
then
"The Rock" Johnson
if anybody's
made his
up
WWE
to
debut.
if anybody's up to like WWE, he's most likely gonna have like a return match. Probably be with John Cena again, which kind of sucks. But WWE kind of shit right now. All about AEW. Shout out Jacksonville. Shout out John Michael Boyega. But yeah, that's pretty cool.
John Michael Boyega.
Oh, he's
Why do you keep saying John Boyega?
That's the guy's actual name.
That's his actual name?
Yeah, John Michael.
Okay, but we're not talking
Boyega?
about.
No, not the actor.
Okay.
He's a kid I went to middle school with. He's like one of those guys that you're friends with, but you haven't seen him in like 12 years.
Right.
But y'all always just talk shit about like wrestling and stuff.
Right.
But yeah, 25 years ago that happened, and then 20 years ago, Justice League the animated series came out, which that was kind of like my kicking off point to getting into comics and being a fucking dork.
Now awesome. Again, I think mine was definitely Batman the Animated Series, Static Shock, Batman Beyond, and this show. So that was all like around the same time I started watching these things.
Yeah. And shout out WB.
I just remember it like it's yesterday. That is the show. That's the reason why, for me, as much as I like, what the fuck is
comics? DC?
No, Green Goblin,
Green Lantern, Jon Stewart.
No, Kyle
Rayner.
Oh yeah, Kyle Rayner. So what's the original? Not the original, but what is the main?
Hal Jordan?
Hal Jordan. Fuck me. I couldn't think of it. Like, for somebody who prides himself as a DC nerd, and I couldn't think of DC I was about to say, I couldn't think of Hal Jordan's name. Yeah. As much as I like Hal Jordan, like, Jon Stewart is my Green Lantern. That's who I grew up with. Phil Lamar voicing.
Yes, sir.
Phil Lamar was not only Jon Stewart, but he was Static Shock. So there was an episode where he had to do both voices and constantly go from, like, this teenage down to, like, this really deep kind of... And I was like, that's amazing, dude.
My favorite thing about him is he was Dracula in The Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy.
Yes. He was Wilt in Foster's Home for Imaginary Kids. He's been in so many So many great things.
Go tier.
But that's why Jon Stewart was my Green Lantern. That's why The Flash to me was Wally West, because the Flash in that show was Wally West.
Yep.
And absolutely love that show. 20 years on the dot. That gets me so much harder in the pants than The Rock. I do love The Rock, but that's so cool to think that 20 years ago, my childhood, that's badass.
Pretty wild. Some sad news, which it is very topical. This just happened probably I want to say 4 or 5 hours ago. Young Dolph, the Memphis rapper, just got killed. I don't know if he was getting robbed or whatever happened, but
he was outside of a cookie shop.
Yeah. But
which is the least hard places to get shot, but it's still sad.
It's tough, mainly because he is 38 and he's not like a scumbag guy. I mean, granted, he raps and does do he does do some
automatically make you a
scumbag. He does talk about like cooking up and being in the band and everything like that. But he leaves behind 2 young kids and a wife, which is very tough to see.
It's a shame, man.
But definitely not to like plug a millionaire, but definitely go listen to all of his music because he owns all of his masters. So I'm assuming if you stream the music, the master pays is all going towards the wife and
the
kids.
family and stuff. So hopefully they get to retain all the rights to the masters. So that's what's up. It always is so weird to like transition from that to like another just like
thing. Before the fucking pandemic, like whenever everybody was dropping from COVID, whenever it was like literally every episode we had like 12 deaths to go through.
4 in a row.
It was like, oh my god,
4 episodes in a row we had all these like RIPs. Tiger King Part 2 drops tonight. Is that tonight, really?
Yeah, it already came out. I watched episode 1. It like compared to episode 1 of Tiger King season 1, how that one was just like, oh, I'm fucking in. This one, it just brings back all those memories that you kind of forgot about. Yeah. And it's one of those shows that you just, like if you're watching with your old lady, you can just talk shit to the screen like, oh, fuck Carol, or goddamn Jeff's a bitch.
You literally wrote in the notes, Tiger King Part 2 drops tonight, fuck all the other news. Because
I forgot all about it until like right now. I was like, I don't care about anything else. This show.
So we have 2 live action shows. Avatar: The Last Airbender has its live action show coming out, and One Piece has a live action show coming out. Both have confirmed their casts. And
what is One Piece coming out on? Because I know
Netflix.
They both are Netflix.
Yes.
Okay.
So because Netflix is making a really hard push at anime now.
Gotcha.
So they're going hard.
Are they all owned by like a same company? Like you know how DC owns their set of characters is like One Piece and Avatar and all
for
them?
the most part, yeah, actually. Well,
because I thought Avatar was a Nickelodeon thing, wasn't it?
Well, Avatar is a Nickelodeon thing, but if you mean like anime in general, there are like 3 or 4 big anime studios, maybe even less. Maybe there's only like 2 or 3. So a lot of those are owned by the same companies. There's like Toei Animation, and then there's
Studio Ghibli, or
not really. That's kind of its own thing, just because they're like primarily movies. But
I'm not that big of a weeb.
I'm talking about just like who does the shows and like puts on.
Gotcha.
But yeah, they're all pretty much owned by the. So when they make a deal with like a streaming service, you know, it goes hard in the paint.
Okay.
And this deal that they have with Netflix is only like for live action stuff. So that doesn't give them the rights to. However, it does give them the ability to like Cowboy Bebop. Now that the live action show is coming out, now the anime is back on Netflix. Right when it was taken off. So,
do you think they switched over because they saw like what they liked with Death Note and the other one that they had?
So here's the thing.
What was it?
Absolutely zero fucking people like Death Note.
What was the other one?
I mean, the
Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Alchemist.
There you go.
Full Metal Alchemist was actually pretty cool. I had fun. Well, the difference is the push is now. Full Metal Alchemist was purely Japanese.
Okay.
Like, they didn't even have a dub, I don't think, for it.
Mm-hmm.
These new shows are going to be English made. They're still going to cast proper, you know, people of color, people of that, like Japanese people, Asian people, to play these parts.
So you're not going to have like Mark Wahlberg as like Aang?
Right, yeah. Okay. So they're trying to cast accordingly, which I respect. Hey, but instead of making it in Japanese,
you think you're the only guy with a gun?
You think you're the only fucking guy with a gun? And I think that like
what is that guy up to? The dude who used to come to the comic shop.
Who? Wait, what?
The Boston guy.
Oh man, I don't know. I haven't seen him since. I left that fucking place.
Miss that
guy. Yeah, he was a good dude. I can't even remember his name right now.
Right. You think you're the only guy with a fucking gun?
But yeah, I think that the
Sorry.
push now is their English. I don't think that the Japanese market themselves is like thirsting for live action versions of anime. I think that anime itself is so huge there
Okay.
that I don't think that they're like demanding we want a live action version of this stuff. It's really an American thing for us.
Do you think they like look down on it, like because of the way we did Death Note and the way that we did Dragon Ball Z?
It's really possible,
and
just
Avatar?
because we have fucked up,
Every
really,
single one.
really big movies. But
We fucked up all of them.
I'm
Name one
I'm
good
excited
live
for it,
action
though.
anime.
I will tell you that Death Note was horrible.
The Avatar movie was shit.
Dragon Ball Evolution, shit. However, now that there seems to be, again, a push for we're going to make this as close to source material as possible, we're going to make it really, like, Cowboy Bebop looks amazing. Everything in every trailer they've dropped so far looks so Cowboy Bebop. It looks so good. I know. And that theme song, I remember there was a TikTok that was like me at like 2 a.m. 20 years ago, and it was a kid waking up to like the
that's how everybody watched that show.
And it was like, that's how you got into Cowboy Bebop. And I remember that, dude. I remember literally being like, what's going on? And like the grown-up shows Adult Swim was on, and it was Cowboy Bebop, and I was like stare at the screen and be like, this is so fucking cool.
Because like that theme song hit loud as fuck, and then the Shirley Temple commercials used to like hit loud as fuck and would wake you up, and like
The
George
Shirley
Lopez
Temple commercials. What
you remember
which ones were
where
those?
like late in like the early mornings, like they'd have like the buy this with great hits such as blah 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 or blah blah blah, where it's like an infomercial that's 4 minutes.
Animal crackers in my soup.
Yep,
Yes,
that one.
I do remember
That was the
shit.
one that waked up everybody.
Yep.
George Lopez and
I'll give you that.
Cowboy
yeah.
Bebop.
George Lopez, I love the George Lopez. I love the George Lopez show.
Hell yeah.
Just because we're a little over an hour, we'll run through the last two things. The final season of Bill Burr's animated show, F is for Family, premieres on Thanksgiving on Netflix.
Hell yeah.
Which
Love
is a
that
great
series.
show. So if you guys haven't seen F is for Family, you got to go watch it. It's very funny.
10 out of 10.
It's definitely Bill Burr. And then Ozark Season 4 trailer dropped with a release date of January 21st, 2022. I still have not watched Ozark. I've seen little bits here and there. And it's the same thing as we were just talking about. It's because my dad and my fiance will not shut the fuck up about it. Will not stop telling me, you gotta watch, just watch it a little bit.
Did you watch Breaking Bad?
Oh yeah, that's like one of my favorite shows of all time.
But did you find it, or did like people do like you gotta watch it, you gotta watch it?
I didn't start watching Breaking Bad until it was in its 4th season.
But it wasn't
And
like
I binged
everybody
it.
telling you to watch it?
I don't know if you... No, it was just that it literally was that it came to Netflix finally.
Yep.
And everybody made a big deal because they were about to go into their final season, the 5th season. And it just, like, it came to Netflix. It was highly advertised on Netflix. I watched, like, a thing on it, and I was like, oh, fuck, this actually looks pretty cool. So I gave it a shot.
Mm-hmm.
And I do remember thinking, like, oh, I've heard a lot about this show, but it wasn't so much, like...
Everybody
everybody,
it.
Yeah, no, it really wasn't that.
Hopefully that'll be something that you do get into, Ozarks, like how you did with Breaking Bad, because it's a good show. I mean, granted, I've only seen the first 2 seasons. I never got into season 3, but
well, what's interesting is that I actually have a tendency of not watching something, and then when I finally give it a shot, I'm happy because there's like 6 seasons to binge. You know what I mean? I don't like waiting for things to
You're
come
like the
out.
guy that's just like, guys, let me tell you about this cool show. It's called Game of Thrones.
Yeah, right.
You're that guy?
Guys, have you heard of like Star Wars?
Bro,
Have you heard
The
of this?
Wire, dude.
Dude, The Wire
Show
on HBO.
bangs, bro.
That is all we have for tonight. Thank you guys so much if you made it all the way through
yeah.
the podcast. I know most of you don't because you're fucking pussies.
Right.
But no, all jokes aside, thank you so much. I love doing this fucking show. I love sitting here with my man Trey.
Hell yeah.
And it's just a good week and good Wednesday, good way to cap off a really cool day. So thank you all so much again. Please like, subscribe, follow, do whatever.
Yep.
Leave us a rating.
And then
just helps us out.
Email us shit to read. Like if you just want to say what's up, or if you got any like topics or anything like that.
Email us. However, the best way to talk to us is
Messenger.
Instagram or Facebook.
Yep.
So hit us in the DMs.
Yeah.
You can slide up in our DMs anytime you want.
Throw out topics you want us to discuss.
I send nudes for Absolute nothing.
And if you want like a book pressed, I mean, we plug it all the time.
Yep.
Bare ass press.
I do bare ass pressings of books for $5 a book. If
Guaranteed CGC 9.8.
So a lot of people prefer their books pressed and cleaned. I don't do anything to clean them.
Pressed and smeared.
Yeah, I will give them a little Hershey kiss right on the cover. So
got to.
Thank you guys so much again. Do you have anything else for the people?
No, just another reminder for anybody who's probably not listening. This Saturday at 7, we are going live for Cowabunga Comics, and we have a good amount of Silver Age and some pretty banging books. Like, I know we got some Godzilla in there.
If you follow the Bat in the Hat podcast on Facebook, it will stream to it.
Yep.
Like, you'll get the notification that, they're going live. So that's a thing. Or you can follow Cowabunga Comics on Facebook or on YouTube or whatever.
Yes, sir. Other than that, cool. Fuck yeah, buddy.
Thank you, sir. And thank you guys. Have a good night. We'll see you next time. Bye. Not that close to it. That's better.